Mourinho sacked by Roma. What next, if anything, for Jose Mourinho? Would he fit? If so, where? Would he be a fit back in the Premier League? So many of you getting in touch. There is Marco, the postie from the Drum. I know you, Marco. Jim, I do not like Mourinho, but I would have him in a heartbeat at Celtic. Would you? Really? In place of Brendan, Marco? Really? Jim's special one for me, and still is, says Andy in the Black Country. England, his tactical nous would win individual games for England. Yeah, he'd be a good fit there. So many people saying yes, there is a place for Jose Mourinho. And of course, almost inevitably, Paul, Newcastle fan of 39 years. No doubt Mourinho will get linked for the Newcastle job. But I agree with Simon. The guy's had his time. And that now I think all roads will lead to Saudi Arabia for somebody like Jose Mourinho, a club out there. Maybe. 03717 223344. Just before we go to the callers, you remember Mourinho at Manchester United?
What was the result? 3-0. 3-0. Do you know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, man, respect.
So, would you want that back? If you do, give us a call. If you don't, give us a call as well. 03717 223344. George, Chelsea fan. George, good morning. What's your take on this?
Morning, guys. Great shows ever.
Morning. Thank you, George.
Mourinho, you know...
I know. Where do you start?
He's box office, isn't he? You know, like, the game needs Mourinho's. You know, he goes against what the establishment say. He goes against the grain. And people don't like that. People don't like it. You know, he's energy. He's everything. You know, what he did when he came into Chelsea in 2004... I remember when he left in 2007, I was absolutely heartbroken. I was smashed to pieces. But, you know, would I have him back now? I don't know. I don't know. You know, clearly it's a whole different ballgame now at Chelsea, isn't it? Is he going to be what they want? But I think the sport needs Jose. I think they do. I think he brings everything that football's about. He brings passion. He brings arguments. He brings a dilemma. He brings everything.
You saw what he brought though post the Seville game, and you saw what he brought to Anthony Taylor's door in the car park, George.
But you've seen what he's brought to every club that he's been at. He's brought trophy after trophy after trophy. Apart from Tottenham, where he got sacked just before the final.
Okay, George, listen, thank you for the call. We like you, George. Always a good caller, and this morning is no different. Paul, another Chelsea fan. Paul, good morning. Where'd you stand on it?
Well, good morning, lads. Wonderful show.
Thanks, Paul.
I'm for Mourinho. I'd have him back in a heartbeat. I like his passion, but one of the things I like more than I like the way he sets up the team. What's happening at Chelsea at the moment? You've got a left back. You've got left backs on the bench, and he's playing a centre half at left back. I mean, Mourinho would immediately come in. He would immediately sort out the defence of Chelsea. And secondly, the petulance of some of the players. Saturday, 2 players got booked for kicking the ball away. I'm not being funny. I know Mourinho's got his issues, but he would drum down on that straight away.
But Paul, at Roma, constantly in trouble. The captain, Mancini, who misses out next game because he got another booking against Milan on Sunday night. Cristante, Paredes, the Argentinian. And you don't think Mourinho would bring that to Chelsea if you had him back?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he would be more. I think he'd be more measured at Chelsea.
Okay, listen, Paul. Thank you for the call, David in Sunderland, big Sunderland fan. But David, I think you want to talk England, do you?
Well, it was one of the questions that was asked.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say was, Simon said he came in the country full of bluster and what he was going to do. He absolutely didn't. When he arrived in England, he was charming, he was pleasant, he was funny, he was witty, and as he became successful, he became more and more arrogant, less and less sociable. He adopted this chosen one character, and from that moment, he's deteriorated as a manager. His style of football is outdated. He's an embarrassment. We're a championship club, and I wouldn't have him at our club because of his behaviour. I'd love him to go to Newcastle.
Well, it's an interesting point of view, David, but he wasn't the chosen one, he was a special one. But anyone who walks into a press conference, in his first press conference, and says, I am a special one, I'm not one from the bottle, right, is somebody that's arrogant, is somebody that's confident. So he set his stall out. And you might be right that over the years, like all of these managers, they get carried away with their own importance and start to believe their own hype because we're constantly telling them how wonderful and mercurial they are. And you might be right about some of the antics he gets up to, but the body of work, David, that he produced over, certainly I would say, a 14-year, 15-year career was quite remarkable in terms of winning things. And we can all say checkbook managers, but they're all checkbook managers.
I disagree. He was a great manager. I've got no problem with his body of work. To win a Champions League with Porto, to win a Champions League with Inter Milan, who were a very, very poor side, he achieved fantastic things.
He did.
But that doesn't mean he's still someone I would have valued at my club or in charge of my country. I'd find him to be an embarrassment because of the way he behaves now.
David, thanks for the call. We're going to finish with Jay. When you consider it, Simon, he called himself the special one. That was back in 2004.
I know.
I mean, it's a long, long time.
It, yeah.
Jay, good morning. We're going to finish with you, my friend. What next for Mourinho, if anything? What's your take on it?
Hi, guys. Great show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
First thing is, you swap Mourinho for Southgate at the Euro final. We win that. I don't know what you think of that. And the second thing was, I think football's becoming too nice. I think we need people like Mourinho to stir things up a little bit. And a very quick question, Simon, would you take Mourinho when you were still in charge of a football club?
Yep.
You would?
Yeah, absolutely.
Today?
Absolutely.
The Mourinho of today?
Absolutely. Depends what the Mourinho of days is. If Mourinho is across you and just wants a paycheck, doesn't have any motivation. Say I'm owning Crystal Palace now, a mid to bottom tier Premier League club, and Mourinho, and I get to sit with Mourinho. If Mourinho's dialing it in to pick up a big paycheck and do me a favour, no. But if Mourinho wants the project, fancies the opportunity, and I can communicate with him, yeah, absolutely I would, because I think he's a great manager.
Just for the record, would you have him at England?
The question is this. The caller said,
would you want him to be England manager?
Well, there's a question. I think he should be in the conversation. The reason why he should be in the conversation is because he has a tactical nous to be able to overcome moments that previously we've seen we can't do. But would he have created the harmony? Would he have created the relationship with the media that we say has been so influential in this England team being potentially successful? But they haven't won anything. Mourinho wins things most of the time. So if you're in a European Championship final and you're bossing the first 15 minutes and you're winning the game 1-0 and all of a sudden the Italians are pouring over you for 50 minutes and something's going to need changing, he'd have changed it. And he'd have changed it against the Croatians in the World Cup final, and he'd have changed it against the French, because he knows what it takes to be an elite manager, because he is one.
Well, we shall see if Mourinho is back in the game anytime soon, but sacked this morning by Roma.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.